Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be playing some historic best of three. This is kind of an archetype that's been going around. I haven't played any historic since the new set dropped, so we're going to kind of figure it out. I also have not played best of three historic in some time, so we'll kind of give it a go. And this is a greasefang Parhellion combo deck. So basically what you're trying to do with this deck, and credit to the original shell to Alth MTG, took the list kind of off them and then just tweaked it to my own preference. But what you're trying to do is put into your graveyard a copy of Parhellion. It's a 8 mana 5/5 vehicle flying first strike vigilance. When it attacks, you create 2/4/4 flying vigilant angels, crew 4. So what you do is get this in the graveyard, and there's ways with like blood tokens, magmatic chandler, faithless looting, seasoned pyromancer, stuff like that. You then cast greasefang. Greasefang then returns a vehicle from your graveyard to the battlefield, gets haste. It has 4 toughness, so it crews it. So as early as turn 3, you can be hitting them for 13 points of damage, and you get 2 angels left behind. So kind of the shell, and Mistmins have played versions as well as Nassif with like Goblin Engineer is more of a tutorable package. So I want to try this version out because it's a little bit more mid-range, less all-in combo. So I want to give this one a shot and then potentially try the Engineer version, see how that plays out. But what we have, kind of free cast Blazing Root Walla off the discard effects. Same with Fiery Temper. We have the Madness. We have Croxa for graveyard reanimation value for the more grindy games. Voldaren Aperture lets us create blood tokens, same as the Blood Fountain. Faithless Looting to kind of churn through our deck. We got some Thoughtseize's Disruption, Pyromancer for card draw and discard, kind of mixed in there. And I'm on a boat, just as a kind of 5th vehicle, good for the mid-range grindy decks. Can hit like Narset or stuff like that as well. Mardu mana base is very good, having access to a bunch of fast lines as well. Sideboard's a kind of a mix between what I saw Mistmin play, what I wanted to play, and what Elf had. So Portable Holes, Fracture to get rid of Rest in Peace, any sort of graveyard hate creatures. This is decent in the Planeswalker matchups as well. Cleansing Nova for the 9 lives Solemnity combo, or for like heavy kind of creature decks. Authority's good in the mirror because it makes this come to play tapped. No, so this doesn't count as a creature, but it makes Greasefang come into play tapped. So it's kind of good there. Soul Guide Lantern for graveyard hates. I'm playing a Noxious Grasp, so thought is Auras is quite of a popular deck, as well as hitting Teferis, stuff like that seems good. So kind of catch all removal there. Also in this matchup in the mirror, you could hit Greasefang, you could hit Parhellion as well, which is nice. Some Go Blanks as hand hate and Graveyard Exile, and then some Chandras for more of the... When they bring in Graveyard Hate, my thought is you go shift to Chandra and kind of hit them that way. So we're top 1200 Mythic. Let's see how this plays out. Make sure we hit best of 3. Where's the Greasy Boys? Let's give this a go. So let me know if you'd like to see more best of 3 content on the channel. I generally focus on best of 1 just from speed of games and just gameplay styles. Like most of best of 3 games take 25 to 45 minutes for one match, whereas in best of 1 in that same time I could get anywhere between 5 and 7 games, so a bit more variety. Let's play first, 89%er. Okay, well, we'll keep this. We can put both our vehicles in the graveyard. I think we lead with this on red, in case they are an aggressive deck, because we're going to need double red anyways. And then next turn I can play this tapped. Excuse me. 89%er, so be interesting to see. This is one of those trap matchups where if you lose, you drop quite a bit. So I'm actually just going to hold the Root Walla. And the reason being, this is a free discard outlet that'll make a token off this. Green-white could be Enchantress, it could be humans. We'll see what plays. We're hoping for some play on 2. We could just top deck greasefang, which would be nice. White mana, so we should preemptively expect Rest in Peace as a graveyard hate, potentially if they're on a creature-based version. Scavenging Ooze, Naya. Okay. So we're definitely discarding Rootwalla. Question is, do we want to get rid of Blood Fountain or the land? I think we get rid of the land. Free Madness cast. So like with this version, we haven't hit the combo despite going 13 cards. We haven't seen the other half, but this allows us to dig a bit deeper as well. I can Faithless Looting this turn as well. Discard potentially this, and then kind of set it up. Naya mana could be like Enchantress. Opponent's taking infinite time. Okay, Naya aggro. It's interesting. Fortunately, we don't have the red mana to Fiery Temper and do that, but what I can do is do the Blood Fountain, discard it, attack, which isn't too bad. I can also Faithless Looting, discard it, have the red mana. So we're gonna have to shock here. Okay, so we got greasefang for next turn, which is nice. So we're discarding. Probably want another red mana. Just kind of control their board here. So hoping they tap out here and then I could greasefang. This might be like a modified list. The riot creatures play nicely. Alright, cool. So cast you. Parhellion. Get some angels. This could just be like Naya mid-range kind of shell. Attacking with these because if they block one of these, they just take a bunch of damage. They're kind of incentivized to take one of these off the board. Truth be told, they're probably better off taking an angel off the board because Parhellion is going to go to hand. Yeah. So Parhellion goes back to hand. We'll just play this out. So next turn I could Pyro, discard the Parhellion and the Fiery Temper this, Parhellion it back. Seems pretty good. So I think we're gonna want... I don't know how low to the ground they are in terms of sideboard. So we'll probably bring in Authority. I don't think I hate the Nova, just if they are a creature deck. Authority. Nova. We didn't see anything. I probably in the dark would rather go some copies of Portable Hole. Go Noxious Grasp. Probably some Chandras. Trimming along the edges. We don't want Thoughtseize in this matchup. I don't think I want Blood Fountain. It's a bit too slow. Then probably just cut the Chandler. Or cut Croxa. Probably cut Croxa. Rather keep these in as discard. Outlets lets my Madness play a little bit better. That's just kind of hedging against if they have Rest in Peace. If they show the Rest in Peace, we still have like the backup plan, so I'm not too worried. If they show Rest in Peace as well, then I'll bring in like the extra hole and stuff like that. You know what, I might just cut Croxa, at least on the play. And that's the thing, like, this is literally the first time I picked up this deck, so sideboarding, you're going to kind of learn through your games. We're not playing against a known deck, which makes it a little bit difficult. When you are playing against a known deck, you can generally have an idea of what they have, what you need to kind of play around, stuff like that. But we should expect some amount of graveyard hate out of them. My guess is it's actually Scavenging Ooze, just from the composition of their deck. But we'll see. We have this Nova as a sweeper if they decide to overextend. Opponent did have a slower start. If they have something like Llanowar Elf, well, you need lands to play the game. This hand looks good. We'll put one of you back. I think I'm going to lead with the Aperture. Discard. It's like crazy windy in my area today. Didn't really discard anything combo oriented, so if they go like Ooze or something, it's not the end of the world. So I technically have the combo ready if next turn we draw any of our vehicles. I discard a card, get the value there. I do have a clock, that is one element to this all. Damn it. We needed that boat. So I think I just need to set up a combo. Maybe it was right to Faithless Looting first, but the thought there... Yeah, I guess I couldn't hit the boat anyways. They have Embercleave? There was a play to just Portable Hole the Paradise Druid. Okay, 2-turn clock. Kind of need this. not finding our vehicles. Let's just go like that. These are actually kind of annoying. We don't have a clean answer in our deck. Show me Parhellion. Multiple greasefangs. Okay, so I don't think the holes are that needed. I might want... Do I want Soul Guide? Or do I want Thoughtseize? Because if they go Druid anyways, I can't interact with the Druid. These don't hit anything really relevant. At least Croxa goes after their hand. Whereas with Blood Fountain... Let's split the difference. You might want like Helix or something. Okay. I mean, these are playable Magic the Gathering cards. We do a really good job of drawing nothing but greasefangs. Hey, sick. Discard, play, show me a Paradise Druid. Sick. Show me a land. Shut up, get in the car. Next turn, I Pyro, and we do it again. I think we might want Vanishing Verse. Okay, so let's see the threats. Teferi's multicolor, so it doesn't hit that. Gruul's not really a deck. It hits everything in Phoenix. It hits everything in blue-white auras. Yeah, maybe we want the Verse over the Fracture. Or the Verse over the Noxious Grasp. Kind of like these over the Blood Fountains. Probably make that switch too. Cool. Bye, friend. Okay, let's tweak it a bit. The stupid Phoenix seems like a pain regardless for the deck, but just little edge cases, so good. I just don't think Blood Fountain does enough in this format. So we have Chandler there. Let's get rid of Noxious Grasp and go Vanishing Verse. Because this can also hit Rest in Peace, all the graveyard style hate. Let's give this another go. Greasy cars. So the plus with the engineer is you always tutor for it, which increases your likelihood of actually hitting it. We saw game 2 where we had everything assembled, we just couldn't find, and it's like a 5 of like threats wise. Seems fine. We dig for the first 2-3 turns anyways. This gives us a lot of cards to see. We have the option to shock in for Fiery Temper. So I probably want the land. Keep this as my black source. Blue-white will be interesting to see. So I can do this turn. Because I want to find... I think we do this turn. The reason being is if they go... Narset, I want to have an option there. Next turn I can... Okay, so they purge, but that's not terrible because like late game that's a reasonable thing to have. Because now next turn I can just cast this and then refill my hand. Divide, what's this do? Return up to one target creature, planeswalker to its owner's hand from your graveyard. If you can, draw a card, exile. So they don't have another play. Teferi's kind of annoying. They also have Divine Purge again. This returns something. Purge gets rid of my creatures. But I think we just get rid of that. That also lets them learn. Cool. Like they can purge again, so I don't particularly want to play that out right now. Probably should have attacked first. So I can get rid of Teferi, but I don't really care. Put Crocs on the graveyard, flash it back next turn. Or escape it next turn. Also have the Seasoned Pyromancer, so we have a couple ways to attack their hand. Let's get rid of the counter spell. Alright. Thoughtseize. So fair game plan kind of worked out there. So we'll bring in the Chandras, we'll bring in the Fractures. The Verse probably doesn't have enough hits. So they're going to have Graveyard Hate. It's most likely the case. They have enough ways to bounce. And the removal's exile based with Divine Purge. So 5 cuts. Probably trim 1 Parhellion. Yeah. And it's probably just these Epicures. They seem pretty bad. Like, this on its own is still just a 4 power creature, which isn't bad. I think we go like that. Yield to Narset. Sometimes having just a creature out there just to poke at Planeswalker is reasonable. Opponent goes first. We don't really have any hand hate. We don't really have any pressure. I think we mulligan. Okay, this hand's better. Gonna put the Temper away. Fracture can destroy this in a pinch. The old Divine Purge Fracture deck. Or Divine Purge Esper Sentinel. So they don't have much going. Their head explodes. They know what's happening. Alright. All in all, not terrible showing. Like, there's definitely elements of this deck that feel really sweet. The Goblin Engineer version might be better. But, like, that game there, we just had a fair game plan. We just attacked them and kind of won. Croxa coming in, doing stuff, all seemed pretty good. But I'm going to wrap this one up. Usually I keep my videos around 30 minutes. Got you 5 games of the deck, 2 matches, and we got into top almost 800. So not too shabby at all. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one, and stay safe out there.